Hey friends, Jimmy Clegger here, the managing director in beautiful Grand Junction, Colorado. And I just have to tell you, talking to some of my Bozeman peeps and then the folks down in Telluride, it's a little chilly compared to Grand Junction. So I am super excited. It's been a beautiful day, and Julie and I already had our leadership council meeting. And but I want to introduce you to this amazing agent who's got an amazing team in our office, Miss Julie Shafer. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Pleasure to be here
Coming.
in your presence.
Well, thank you very much. You're such flattery there, but no, I appreciate it. So I want to spend a couple minutes here with Julie. Just I want to introduce you guys to Julie, and then we're going to explore what's making her successful, what's making her team successful. She's got an amazing team. And then from there, we're going to talk about some things that she's got going on in the community. So I'm going to open the floor up to Julie and just ask you really kind of just an open question that says, who is Julie Shafer? Tell us about you, where kind of your upbringing and how you got to where you're at right now.
I am a lifelong resident of the Grand Junction area. Fourth generation now with my children and grandchildren, sixth generation strong in the Grand Valley here. So, pretty beautiful. We've got some pretty deep roots here.
Yeah.
I have two sisters, two amazing sisters. One, Stephanie Woolley, is an agent on my team. And then I also have our youngest sister is a professor at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Yes.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's right.
Wisconsin. Yeah, absolutely. So just on Grand Junction is the biggest small town you ever lived in. And I'm sure you're linked to just about everybody in the Valley then.
Well, we have, years ago, it used to feel that way. Now Grand Junction has expanded and there's a lot more people here. So it used to be you'd go out to dinner and know half the people in the restaurant, not so much anymore. A lot of people that are coming into the Valley here, but
So we're seeing people start to find Grand Junction. Grand Junction's being put on the map. And that's
New York Times, one of the best places to live in the entire world. So it's
one of those
been
places
amazing.
You have to go visit. Is what they're saying. So
we've known it all along. It's been our little secret, but not so much a secret anymore.
Yeah, it's getting out. So with regards to real estate, what drew you into real estate?
Actually, I've always been very business minded, and for years and years, that was something I actually went out and got did the classes and everything about a little over 20, almost 30 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Completed the classes. The week of the test, I was offered a job in radio and to help start up a brand new radio station. It had a very small guaranteed salary versus commission income with two very small children. I was a single mom at the time and made the decision that maybe I should do the grown-up thing and think about the the smaller base and a little more stability than embarking on my own. So I chose that path many years ago, and actually it worked out very well. I got a lot of background, a substantial amount of marketing and special event education. I was
gonna say, you've worked on some big events here in the Valley too, which is pretty amazing. Yeah.
So then my husband and I, we bought and sold businesses, and we have bought and sold real estate over the years for ourselves. And it just became one of those things when it was time for me to progress to the next stage of my life, next chapter. I said, honey, I'm jumping in with this and I'm going to do this full time. So
amazing. Okay. So you have built, a really incredible team. So tell us about your team. Right.
Well, so my sister, again, amazing person, Stephanie. She retired from the state of Colorado, and she's a contract specialist. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, you're far too young. She's younger than I am. You're far too young to just be out there playing all the time. So why don't you come in and jump in here and work with me a little bit. And so she did that. Then we brought on Beth Rubalcaba, who's been a dear friend of mine. I went to school with her husband from the time we were in junior high all the way through school, known her for many years. Then Rhonda Bever, who is an absolutely amazing person. She has been an agent for, far longer than I have been, but she and I go back many years. I used to call on her when she was the marketing director for the entire City Market grocery store chain.
Yeah.
So she is just a wonderful person. And she had kind of she had her own team, and she was like, it's a lot of work. And, I'd kind of like to take a little bit of a step back. And she had Anna Martin on her team. And I said, why don't the two of you come on and join us?
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. We teamed up together, and then Ernie Martin.
He's the lone guy on the team, right?
He was one, we felt like we should be equal opportunity employers, I guess. So anyway, Ernie came in and said, hey, I like what you guys are doing. Would you mind, having a little testosterone on the team?
Yeah.
Not at all. So
so balance it out.
And then we have I have a marketing director that handles all of our graphics work, our newsletters, our social media campaigns, all of that. And then we have our head cheerleader, Stacy Height, that is also, in our office. Amazing. And she kind of keeps track of all of us.
Love it. Yeah. Okay. So you've been successful. You've got a successful team. There's got to be some imperatives. There's got to be some things that you do on a daily, weekly basis that make you successful in real estate. What are those? What are some of those key aspects to your business?
I think the thing that first and foremost, you have to be able to hire people or surround yourself with people, not necessarily hire, but surround yourself with people that are much better at doing things than you are yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Love it.
I am, I'm definitely not the brain trust of the bunch. The other agents on my team are, obviously they're tremendously successful. And I feel like, their hard work is really what drives me. And, same with hiring Adrena and Stacy, that's the support staff that you need, and you can't do it all.
Right. And
we have a really good communication, like our texts, we get texts going and we'll talk to each other, 10, 20 times a day, back and forth. We're always in communication with one another. So I think more than anything, it's that.
Yeah.
And then not being afraid to reach out, asking for help. And we show up at the office. Amazing.
Did y'all hear that? Yeah. I like to say, COVID was a blessing and a curse, right? It was a blessing in that I remember when it happened, everybody's like, how am I going to sell real estate I don't have an office.
Right.
And then everybody learned how to pivot. We all worked from home. There's several months in there, but the curse is that we all got comfortable working from home. Now, I will tell you that the successful agents are the ones that are coming into the office every day, that are treating the business like a business, that are collaborating. I mean, there's a real spirit of collaboration for folks that come into the office and be around the office. So, we talk about not being a silent agent. Well, if you want to be a silent agent, you can be a silent agent to marketing. You can also be a silent agent by not showing up to the office. And guess what? You lose. There's so much that you gain just from being around like-minded people, bouncing ideas off, really
constantly.
About things.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
We're writing offers. It doesn't matter whether, it's writing offers, it's doing your listings, it's just questions in general. We're running around, or we'll be at the copier, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Yeah. There's an entire brain trust here that you can derive from, and, you don't need to be on your own. No. You're much stronger in numbers than we are on our own.
I think it was Napoleon Hill when he talks about Think and Grow Rich, there's like a whole conversation in there about masterminds, right? And he talks about formal masterminds, but the informal masterminds are amazing because you put 2 or 3 heads together, the problems you can solve or the techniques that you learn from somebody else is pretty amazing. So the other thing is we've got such a great spirit of collaboration in this office that anybody could walk into your office, anybody can walk into Olin's office, Jen Peterson's office, Kenzie Ross's office, and ask a question, and you're going to get the answer. And it's not like we're holding back. None of those folks will hold back. They will give you the right answer to help you be successful.
Right. That's correct.
So, okay. So kind of on that spirit, we've been talking about a changing market. I know inventory is down nationally,
Yes.
inventory is down here. I know, Montrose and Telluride, the inventory is down. But then for the first time, we had the future president of the Colorado Mortgage Lenders Association came in and said he's anticipating rates to get down into the 4% by the summertime.
Yes.
That's the first time that in probably 8 months that I've heard that. And so in this changing market, in the spirit of a changing market, what conversations are you sharing with your clients?
Well, let me back up,
Okay.
Jimmy, just for a minute.
Yeah.
In this changing market, one of the things, and I know we kind of joked around a little bit among some of the agents, this is whole different January than it was last year.
Yeah.
Or even the year before, and yes, I have threatened to slip my wrists a couple of times, like, oh, what's going on? What's going on?
Right.
But in anticipation of that, we could see, especially some of the seasoned agents could see how easy the last couple of years were, like we would get a listing, we'd throw it out there. We would we're going to wait until Monday to review offers, anticipating we'd be in a multiple offer situation and stuff. We're not seeing that quite as much as we did before. In fact, we're rarely seeing that level of action on our listings that we saw before. And so one of the things that we did have to talk about was, we've got to get back to the basics. We've got to get back to having open houses. We've got to get back to, putting signage out. We've got to get back to staging homes, the things that we used to do that brought us to the party and really made us successful. Yeah. That we became really kind of lazy, and got away from because it wasn't necessary. Right. And so because of that, we've had to revisit that. Oh my, hold on, please hold.
Hold on, folks.
Because of that, we had to revisit, sit the agents down, all of us together and say, hey guys, we've got to get back to the basics. We've started, staging the homes again. We're taking advantage of the marketing programs that are offered through the office here. Just really going full bore to make sure that our listings are standing out amongst all the others.
Yeah. So I'm going to say the old is new again. Let's go back to 2019, right? 2018, 2019, all of those same practices that were making agents successful are now coming back and making agents, or what's going to be needed to set yourself apart from
correct
the rest of the call it the real estate community that's out there.
Yes.
So.
And then there are also so many of the agents, there's been a whole new we doubled, almost tripled in the number of agents in the last 9-10 years in this market. So there's a lot of agents that are new that came into the market when things were completely different than they are now. We're getting back, like you said, to where we were previously. Right. So we have to get back to the basics. We have to get back, and we've got that advantage that we know how to do this.
Exactly.
And we know how to do it right.
Yeah.
We just have to, work a little harder.
Yeah. It's almost as if you're setting your resume, your current transaction is making your resume for your future transaction.
Yes.
And so that resume needs to be dialed in. And doing the right steps.
Yes.
So that when you show up for that listing appointment, you can say, hey, listen, this is everything that I did, and we got that house sold. So interesting you say, agents. Here's an interesting national stat. Approximately 50% of agents nationally have been in the market for less than 3 years.
Amazing.
Yeah. Here's the next one. 90% of the agents have been in the market for less than 10 years, right? So you're only talking about 10% of the agents out there that have been in the market that have seen a couple of different roller coasters in the market.
Right.
And I will tell you as a young managing director, it's like I'm leaning on you guys and Olin and Jen to say, okay, where are we going with the market? What's happening next? So that we can do a little bit of predictive analysis and stay out in front of it. For you agents, really, because you guys are in the close fight. You guys are duking it out. So how do we help you in the long fight?
And we're all running a business.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You have to have a strong business mindset,
Right.
in order to, take advantage of the great times, when sales are strong, but likewise, and probably more importantly, when things are contracting, when the market is contracting and things become a little more difficult, this is when you really need to be able to sit down and say, okay, where can I, get the most bang for my buck? What expenses can I cut back on, and where can I pour on, a little more, like, what do I need to lean into in order to get the business back to,
Right.
Because there is going to be a lot of contraction. People instantly, just like the accountants, we instantly cut the budget, but you've got to be very careful, especially when it comes to marketing, not to cut all of that marketing budget and again, lean into it.
Yeah. You kind of touched on a couple points, and that's the idea of leverage, and the idea of leveraging the marketing packages, leveraging the team that's around you. You've built your own team, but leveraging the Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties team.
Right.
So my question for you agents out there is, what can you leverage? We've got so many tools, so many things that you can lean into. What can you leverage to help make you successful in your business as we go through this changing market?
Well, and Jimmy, we touched on it in the leadership meeting today. There are a lot of publications that have free space available for, like our newspaper, our local newspaper,
Right.
Talking about the office stuff and the agents and that sort of thing. We need to be taking advantage of that collectively as an office as well as individuals.
Yep, absolutely. So, okay, shift gears a little bit. You are super active in the community. And one of the things is the air show.
Yes.
And so I wanted to, so just for everybody, we have an air show that's normally every other year, but it's been 4 years since we've had the last air show because of COVID. And we've got the air show coming up in October.
October 14th and 15th.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the air show, and then something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's kind of what you're doing to support and celebrate veterans.
So U.S. Navy Blue Angels will be
Yep.
the featured jet team, and our air show in Grand Junction is one of the largest in the entire region being like a 4 or 5 state area.
Mm-hmm.
We're very fortunate that our ratings are very high with the military, and that is why we're supported so heavily with their, with the jet teams when they are available. Thunderbirds or Blue Angels. We've even had the Snowbirds and Canadian Snowbirds in before.
Yeah.
So,
and I would just say you'd have an Army presence here if we flew jets, but we don't. So, but anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Had to get that in.
I had to
get it in.
I had to
All
shoot
right.
that
This
Army.
is not a competitive thing, Jimmy. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, so yes, at the Grand Junction Regional Airport on October 14th and 15th, we will be hosting the Blues along with many other military and civilian performers. This is we do things. You asked about the veterans packages and stuff. We, as Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties, started in 2019 a program where we were able to offer and sponsor half-price tickets for the veterans that wanted to attend the show. And we started this this was well into the ticket season.
Right.
And we came up with the idea together, and we started making the sales, and we had people from all over the country that called us and wanted to come in and take advantage of the half price tickets and get out there to the show. It was tremendously successful. This year, right from the start, Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties is once again going to sponsor the veteran tickets. They will be available only through the offices. And I'd like to call on, our Montrose and, other Colorado offices, please, to help us get these sold to the veterans in your marketplace. And those tickets, again, we are anticipating they will be on sale March 1st and will carry through October during the date of the event.
And we're anticipating a half price ticket.
Absolutely,
for
yes.
veterans, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can't quite talk ticket pricing quite yet, but I think we're looking about half price.
Ticket prices. I will let you know, the The general admission ticket prices will be $30. And then the veteran ticket prices will be 15.
And
So,
only picked
yes,
up at our office.
correct.
Amazing.
Yep.
So thank you. Thanks for supporting the veterans.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you, Jimmy,
so-
for making this
Yeah.
all possible,
Right.
buddy. It's all you.
Hey, so team, thank you very much, Julie, for just an amazing conversation. I will tell you, team out there, that if you have any questions, I know Julie will pick up the phone and answer those questions, just like she does with our agents in the office here. So wealth of knowledge. And I know you keep me in check. You know, when we talk about surrounding yourself with people that are smarter than you, guess what? You know,
No. I'm just the brain trust
I know, but
of my family. I'm like the low end. I'm clear at the very bottom.
I know, but you have made me a better leader, so I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, team, appreciate every one of you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for talking to us. Sarah, appreciate you. Thanks for the note there, and we will see you guys later. Take care.